So how can you bring up a lagging body part? Now, there's so many different ways that people can go wrong, but from my personal observations, from seeing people on YouTube or at the gym, is that where most people go wrong is that they genuinely don't have enough volume and put enough effort into a certain muscle. So that means so for example, if you train shoulders and traps on the same day, most people who do that will do, say, 5 exercises for their shoulders, say 4 sets of 5 exercises, and they do the press and the side lateral raises, the front raises, the rear delt flies, and they do all these sets for their delts. And then whenever it comes down to training traps, and then went to failure, say every single set in their delts, try to train as heavy as possible, as hard as possible, and then say they're in a rush to get out the gym and they only do 1 exercise for traps, and they only train traps once a week, and they do 1 exercise, which is dumbbell shrugs. They're not as strong and focused as they were at the start of the workout, and then they've got 4 sets to do, so they just grab the weight and say they do 4 sets of 10, and they'll just do the average shrug. Say, for example, they're just shrugging it up. That person, like, if you cannot see why that person doesn't have a good set of traps, then you obviously haven't had enough time in the gym training. Because if you notice, any muscle that you're trying to build, you have to first of all progress, and you also have to increase the demand that's put on it. So you can't, like, whenever you first start off in the gym, you might only do 2 or 3 exercises for chest, but as time progresses, you can't be doing 3 exercises of 3 sets. You can't be doing 9 sets whenever you first start in the gym, and 20 years later, if you're trying to build an amazing physique and really progress on it. So what you want to do is, if you're trying to bring up a lagging body part, you not only want to put a lot of effort into it, but you want to actually increase the volume that you're doing for it. So obviously the person's going to make a great difference than just doing the 4 sets of 10 with a certain weight. They're going to make a big difference by going as heavy as possible and really grinding out those 10 reps. But second of all, that person wants to increase the volume that they're doing for their traps. Now obviously you got to prioritize. Like, you might want to start hitting traps at the start of your shoulder workout if your delts are significantly overpowering your traps. But if you find that you've just got lagging traps, but your delts are good, but they're not that significant, and you feel like they're more important, you can still hit your delts at the start of your workout. But whenever you're at the end and you're training your traps, you want to do at least 3 exercises. You want to do similar to what you're doing for delts. I would even recommend, if your delts are pretty big and you have lagging traps, you want to do the same amount you do for delts. So if you do 5 exercises for shoulders, you want to do 5 exercises for traps. You want to get the combination of high reps, low reps, free weights, machines. You want to hit it from so many different angles that you demand them to grow. So that's first of all. If you want to bring up a lagging body part, you need to put in the same amount of volume as you do for other parts of your body. You know, there's no part of your body which won't respond to this. It's not, you can't just fucking say, you know, your biceps are a small muscle, so they need less volume, and your back's such a big muscle, it needs more volume. That's true, but that's not what you need to apply. You need to put in as much volume as it takes for it to grow. Not every single person's the same. You can't say 3 sets, 3 exercises for your biceps is going to make them grow. That fucking shit did not work for me. Once, when my arms were a lagging body part, once I started to put in more volume, more frequency, my arms have started to get so much bigger, as if they're fucking exploding out of my arms in this past year. In this past 6 months, I've put on more gains in my arms than I have in this 2.5 to 3 years I was training before that. And I wanted to build big arms. So that's the first point, guys. You want to increase the volume that you're doing for that muscle. The second part is you want to increase the frequency. So I'm just picking traps here for an example, but this is for any muscle. This could be your chest, for example. So you want to increase the frequency. So say you do your usual chest day, you've got good volume, you've got a range of exercises, but you need to add in the frequency. Well, what you want to do is, say your chest is lagging compared to your delts, you have a really flat upper chest, but you just have these popping out delts. Well, what you want to do then is is that you can therefore sacrifice the shoulder workout that you're doing to a certain extent. So what you might want to do is, just to get in that increased frequency, this is an example, is you've done your chest workout, you've rested for a few days, and now it's come to your delts. Well, what you want to do is, you either want to start or finish off your shoulder workout hitting your chest, and if it's your upper chest, you obviously want to get in that pressing movement. So you could say, I'm going to start off my shoulder workout with the incline dumbbell press, so that you'll hit your front delt, but it'll help you focus on your upper chest. And then you also want to isolate that muscle, because the reason that your upper chest might be lagging is because your delts are dominant on that exercise. So all you have to do is isolate the chest, and what you can do is an incline dumbbell fly. That is such a great isolation exercise for your upper chest. And with that, you'll have increased frequency, you'll have the increased volume, and the third thing that you need to do is that you fucking progress. This is where so many people go wrong. Don't be increasing your volume and increasing your frequency. If you continue to use the same weight, you're going to continue to get the same fucking results. What you want to do is you want to make that big step. Obviously, you're going to get great results with that increased volume, that increased frequency. But that's only going to last you for a certain amount of time. You want to progress upon everything. You want to progress upon the amount of sets that you do, the amount of exercises that you do, and the most important thing is the amount of weight that you use. Don't be doing all this volume and not increasing on the weight. You have to increase upon the weight, and that's how you'll figure out how frequently you want to train, how much rest you want to take. For me, I know exactly how my body works. I train every single day, and my muscles usually only need a day to recover, because I've conditioned myself to respond this way. Whenever I first started working out, I couldn't train every day. You know, my legs would be sore for a week, but I was able to train my legs twice every 5 days at certain stages of my training. And I was doing high volume for my legs. I was doing high volume for all my muscles. I was doing high intensity. So you really got to experiment with yourself. And obviously every single person's body works differently, but there's certain principles that always get results, and that's the progression. Progression can only get you results in the gym. No matter what your structure is of your body and your genetic makeup, progression gets results. And progression is obviously the most common one, is the increase in the weight. But that also means increasing the demand that you put on the muscle, meaning that you do more volume, you do more frequency. And if you have a lagging body part, go in and fucking kill that muscle. Go in with the intention of giving it nothing left. Make sure you've hit it from every single angle. Make sure that you've trained it to complete failure, that's got nothing left. And then recover it, get in enough calories, enough sleep, enough rest, and then go and repeat, guys. And that's how you'll get the best results. And this advice is for every single muscle in your body. It doesn't matter if it's calves, triceps, or rear fucking delts. You want to train them with more volume, more frequency, and you'll get the fucking results. And an example for anything can be, if you want to train calves more frequently, train your calves on your leg day, train your calves on your shoulder day. You can do a seated calf raise, a seated calf press, and on the leg press you can do another extended leg press. And then on your shoulder day you can do a standing calf machine raise. You can do the standing calf machine raise like this. You can do so many different exercises, but make sure you get the variety, make sure you get the progression, guys. There you fucking have it.